Hello, Kazuyuki-san. Let me continue with the talk about interactions in nuclear physics. Okay, there are a bunch of interactions. Here we will focus only on two types of interactions. The first one is given by the pairing interaction. By the pairing interaction, and the second one will be given by the quadrupole interactions. Okay, so okay, so in your email you were explaining that in accordance to the works or by Motterson and Motterson, they used or they proposed this model that is called the PPPQ, that is this model that you explained here, where single particles are connected, correlated with particles with pairing and quadrupole that you use it here. Okay, so the basic interactions that you mentioned here is correlated with pairing interaction and quadrupole that you have here and you present here. Okay, for sure the quadrupole interaction gives us a deformation of the mean field potential. Okay, while pairing prefers spherical shape. Okay, you are correct. Now I want to you show the Hamiltonian which I used to work. That is this one. In this Hamiltonian, okay, I will start. Okay, I will take the model of interacting boson model, where the Hamiltonian will consist in, for the case of bosons, I mean, when you have a nucleus, and outside the nucleus or outside the closed shell you have protons and also neutrons, but we will take into account only pairs of protons and neutrons. So in this case the Hamiltonian which I have here will consist in several parts. Okay, the first part, this part, okay, is given by the operator of operators of D bosons and S bosons. You can think that this first part corresponds to the pairing interactions because it's actually the spherical contribution. And when you have the quadrupole interactions here, like you mentioned before, corresponds to the deformation. And here we have the imaginary term that this is the contribution, or is the energy, or the interaction which corresponds to 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 the differences of symmetric and non-symmetric systems, or symmetric or non-symmetric spectra. Okay, so the quadrupole contribution, or the operator, will be given by this expression. This is the second term, or this term, the imaginary term, correspond to this energy which differentiates the different systems which has different symmetries. Okay, but this is only when we consider bosons without neutrons, without fermions, just pairs of fermions. This is the basic structure of this Hamiltonian. But now, if we have odd even nuclei, what it does mean, that it does mean that if you have a nucleus, okay, and also you have those pairs of protons, for example, but you have an extra proton, you have to consider this extra contribution of this fermion that you are taking into account. This fermion corresponds to this part. Okay, this is the Hamiltonian we will use to consider the extra proton. Also, it's important to notice that this extra proton are the allowed energies. Okay, this is just a picture of the energies that we have between two shell close. For example, let's consider this. Okay, this is for example the shell 50, and this is the shell 82, for example. And here we will put the extra proton, and here we have the pairs of protons. So here we will put this extra contribution due to this proton, okay? And the extra term will be the boson and fermion contribution. Okay? So this is the basic structure of the boson fermion. The interactions, this is the quadrupole interaction. Okay? And another simplifications of the Hamiltonian in order to have a clear Hamiltonian. So just I wanted to show you this formalism which I am using. Also, it's important with this formalism we can reproduce this spectra, which is in correspondence with the experiment. This is the experiment, this is the theoretical. You can see that works close to, okay, more or less, but it works for the low-lying states. So that's all, my friend Kazuyuki. You have something else that we can use and how we can improve this model is welcome. Actually, there is something that I have to understand yet, that is how we can improve the operators associated with every this model. For example, you told me something about the seniority. The seniority was well developed by Scholten. I can show you this, for example. Scholten developed the theory of seniority here to this model, which is something that you mentioned also in your paper here. And that's all. See you. Okay.